everyone, and welcome to another installment of TEDXcellence, the show in which we ask the question, is it snake oil or is it science? And we come to you live from my Corona bunker on the moon with Dogcat Fox, a Pepperjack, all of you, and joining me today, Blind Press.
Hello.
Hello, Blind Press. How are you today?
I am very well, and I have come armed with a cider. So,
Ooh.
yes.
Wow. We're both going to be a little woozy-wazzle by the end of this. So, for those in the audience who have no idea who you are or what you do, Blind Press, who are you and what do you do?
I am Blind Press, and I am totally blind, and I have a YouTube channel here on YouTube, strangely enough, called Blind Press. And I do live streaming and video content where I basically provide my opinions and commentary on politics, news, of course, blindness, and nerdy things as well, like Star Trek and video games. It's a hodgepodge, but I try to add the blindness perspective into everything. So.
Yes, and guys, if you have not seen Blind Press's channel, check it out. She plays Mortal Kombat and wins more often than not. So check that out. Also, and links to that's in the description, as well as her Patreon or Streamlabs and her Twitter account. So go follow her there and check it out when you have a chance. But today, I mean, I don't mean to keep typecasting her, but every time I come across a TEDx talk that deals with blindness, kind of like, I wonder if this might be something she'd be interested in. At some point, she and I will do one where it's just a normal TEDx talk of insanity. But for now, she's my subject matter expert. And it's going to be kind of a theme today and tomorrow because, coincidentally enough, I came across one that said something to the effect of spinal injuries can be cured with asparagus.
What?
And so tomorrow I'll be having Ranting Monkey on, a duo TEDx, to talk that one and see what that has to say. But that's for tomorrow. We're here today, and who's here today with us? Why, that would be Wade Whalson, hello. Matt Barnes, hello. God of Plague, hello. Cyber Grendel, hello. That one servant of Satania, hello. Maniac Man 2030, hello. Zalbla, hello. Raziel, hello. Kieverdan, hello. Asian Hippie, hello. Blind Press, you're already here, and I see you, hello. Let's see, and then chat jump because the person did. Who's next? Eric Kai, hello. What's his face and whatnot, hello. Tall Person, hello. Mike R, hello. Dark Lyle, hello. Gunnar Anderson, hello. The Luke Skywalker, too, hello. Debate Fly, hello. Check Your Logic, hello. Tux Mint, hello. Black Belt for Christ, hello. Zeke Weiss, hello. Mike R, hello, if I didn't already say hello. Jonathan Peterson, hello. Dina B, hello. Danny Boy, hello. Roger Reynolds, hello. Mike Savage, Blarg. Emperor W.R. Costin, hello. Gulf City, Johnny Blaze, hello. And then Robert Lapine, hello. Mr. Dax, hello. This is Kyle, thank you so much. Hello, chat people, Scribbles, and Blind Press. Hello, Kyle.
Hello, Kyle.
Joe Faps, hello. Adabisi, hello. Twisted Skipster, hello. And then Chat jumped is what I was trying to say, but it all got mushed together. I'm going to miss some people, I apologize. Joe Faps, thank you so much. Even the blind can see the fuckatry. This is true. Aspianti, hello. Backscan 3030, hello. Bruno Montiero, hello. Ebony Williams, hello. And I'm sure I missed some people, and I apologize, guys, but we have to get into this because it's a little bit of a lengthy one. That's what she said. Just under 14 minutes of whatever we're going to encounter. Now, get your bingo card ready. It was a tie today between bingo card A and bingo card C, and since we have yet to do bingo card A, since I've introduced the 3 different bingo cards for voting on, we're going to do bingo card A. So get out your bingo card A's, get those ready. If you'd like to participate in voting on the next bingo card for the next show, be sure to follow me on Twitter. I will be posting those along with the announcement of the streams going forward. All right. Blind Press, are you ready?
I am.
All right. Thank you, Manic, for the Dogcat Fox. Hiya, Dogcat Fox. See, Dogcat Fox. Manic says hello. Wowie, wow, wow. Good for you, Dogcat Fox. All right. Yeah, I don't believe anything anybody's saying. You know, we found out who the villain is regarding Dogcat Fox. It's Monsieur Chien Chat Renard. It is the evil first run at creating a Dogcat Fox. However, The people involved raised him on Pepe Le Pew cartoons, and he got the wrong idea about romance.
As you would from Pepe Le Pew cartoons.
I know. All right. With that being said, we're going to start off with a few seconds for sound test. You guys tell me if you can hear this, and then we'll proceed. Oh, you know what? I didn't even read the title of the stream, or the title of the presentation. Sorry. How BS Cured the Blind Girl. I got so caught up in all the introductions and everything, I forgot the little part of like, what are we talking about today? I don't know what this is about, but the title and a little bit of the caption on it seem to suggest that our speaker is going to present either how she cured herself of blindness or someone she knew was cured of blindness, I think. I don't know. But we'll find out together. This is when you start talking, lady.
What if what you ate today is making you sick?
Is it cyanide?
Eat it.
Yeah. You guys hear that okay? Let me know in the chat. Let's see. One servant Sandy says, I call BS. What's his face? McWhatnot says, groovy. Matt Barnes says, sounds good here in Vermont. Sounds good, says Agent Hippie. All right. What if eating was killing you or something? Okay, well, like I say, watch what you eat.
What if what you eat on a daily basis is contributing to your health issues?
Well, it would, wouldn't it? Because either you're eating healthy or you're not. So you're either contributing to good health or you're not. There's no what if. Okay, tall person, thank you so much. Happy Ice Cream Day, everybody. Now that is a day I can get behind.
Yes.
Yay, ice cream. All right, what if? What if?
What if there is poison in your refrigerator or your pantry right now? What?
Yeah. Whoever lives with me is a horrible person and they should go to jail.
Well, I mean, it depends on what she means because, you know, even in the seeds of apples, there's a tiny bit of cyanide.
True.
So we all have probably some kind of poison in our pantry right now. But I don't know what she means.
One night out a week and you pick this talk to come to.
Uh-huh.
On August 1st, 2004,
Mm-hmm.
I woke up almost completely blind.
Okay.
When an optimist wakes up blind, they don't really realize how serious it is. I thought I just needed glasses.
Oh, no. Optimist or optometrist?
Wait, if you wake up blind,
Mm-hmm.
like when you say I woke up blind, that means to me you woke up and couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
Why would you think that glasses would make that, like, I don't understand why you would think that glasses would make you not go from seeing nothing to seeing again.
I guess it depends on what she means by blind, but...
I guess.
Yeah, okay.
Made an appointment at the optometrist in town and went to pick up my glasses. And as soon as he examined me, he, of course, realized that something very serious was going on.
How can you go pick up your glasses if you haven't seen the optometrist yet and you didn't need glasses before because you weren't blind, but now... What?
Oh, thank you, tall person, for the donation. I don't see what the message is. I'll go back and check on it in a minute. But thank you very much for the donation.
Thank you, tall person. Okay, so you went to the optometrist to get your glasses that you hadn't actually been examined for yet because you don't need a prescription to pick up glasses from the optometrist, apparently. Okay.
Come to find out later that he thought that I had a brain tumor. He sent me to a specialist who sent me to another specialist who sent me to another specialist. I spent the next 6 months at probably about 60 or 70 doctors.
60 or 70 doctors to determine whether or not you had a brain tumor? Wouldn't a CT scan do that?
Yeah.
Thank you, Just Paul. I've woken up blind drunk, if it helps. I don't know how helpful that is, but thank you, Just Paul. 60 or 70 specialists in 6 months. I'm assuming it wasn't a brain tumor then, because they could determine that relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Finally, a fantastic neuro-ophthalmologist in Holmdel, New Jersey, sent me to a rare disease specialist in Manhattan.
Real quick, a tall person says, Blind Press, the message is, it is National Cocoa Day.
Ah, thank you, tall person.
Oh, National Ice Cream Day and Cocoa Day. It means it's National Chocolate Ice Cream Day.
Hell yeah.
So I'm looking at the bingo card real quick. 60 or 70 specialists in 6 months.
I don't buy that because I don't know what it's like in the States. I don't claim to, but I would assume that even in the States where wait times are probably slightly less long than they are up here, you would not have time to see that many doctors in that many months just on appointment making for consults alone.
Well, I missed the part. I missed the part where it tells us where this is taking place. So I don't know. I'm assuming it's the U.S., but
yeah, because she was saying she saw somebody in New Jersey, and then he
Oh,
was
right.
sent to Manhattan.
That's right. You're right.
So there's travel from state to state,
Mm-hmm.
which she's clearly demonstrated that she's doing. Then there's referral time
Mm-hmm.
from previous doctor to next doctor. Then there's, okay, you've got the referral, now here's the appointment. Then you have to wait for the appointment. Do you see where I'm getting? Like,
Yeah.
I think she might be exaggerating.
Well,
A
then,
little bit.
unfortunately, then we're on the board with free space and anecdote that probably never happened. So, I mean, if we have reason to believe that's not the case as we go forward, I'll take it back. Has happened before. All right. So, specialists in New Jersey and Manhattan.
And I spent about 5 hours in his office. He was examining me and talking to me and checking my eyes and my brain and my optic nerves. And he sat me down and he said, well, very bluntly, he said, I think I know what you have. But if it's what I think it is, you'll be blind forever. Of course, we have to do the DNA test. I tuned him out at that point. You know, Charlie Brown's teacher, I just tuned him out completely. 3 weeks later, the DNA results were sent to me.
Mm-hmm.
And he called me on the phone. And
would he call you on the tin can?
he said, very politely, but just very bluntly, and he said, I'm really sorry, but the DNA results came back positive. You have Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy. You will never see again because there is no treatment or cure.
Oh, Leber's.
Okay, so for those, I mean, maybe she'll give us a rundown as well, but what do you know about this disease?
I know that it's very rare. I know that I don't know the symptoms of it. I have heard of it, but I know that Leber's is a very rare eye condition.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it is, and because it's so rare, like he said, there is no known cure for it.
Is it total blindness or is it just like degenerative? Or?
It's pretty, from what I've heard of, it's pretty quick, and it's like total.
Okay.
It's like pretty much someone just turned a light switch off.
Okay.
It's very sudden.
All right. Let's see what she says. Well, obviously, presumably, she doesn't have, or if she does still have it genetically, it's not affecting her anymore. So, oh, sorry, wrong button.
And I said, I want a second opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, on DNA test?
Yes, because I got an opinion once. I was told I had chronic kidney disease, and I was like, I have chronic kidney disease? And he's like, yeah, because you're producing too much creatine or creatinine, however you pronounce it. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I've never noticed anything. And I go to another doctor, a guy I've gone to for longer for different things, and he looks at my numbers and says, you don't have chronic kidney disease. If you had chronic kidney disease, all these other things would be off. And I called my dad and I said, Dad, they told me I had chronic kidney disease. And he's like, why the hell would they tell you that? And I said, because I have too much creatinine in my system. He's like, they tell me that all the time. I don't have chronic kidney disease. They thought I was sick or something, but I just produce more creatine than the normal person. I guess you got it too. Like, okay. So, I mean, I avoid taking aspirin and things that would conceivably damage my kidneys. Just why not? But otherwise, it's like chronic kidney. So, but every time I go to a doctor, someone says, "Yeah, have you ever been diagnosed with these things?" Like, yeah, I have been diagnosed with it, but God knows I've never experienced any problems with it. Then when they did the scan of my kidneys, they found no abnormalities at all, nothing wrong with them. So,
Right.
but that guy scared the hell out of me. I was like, yeah. So I always get a second opinion, even if they say, oh, the
Absolutely.
DNA test said this. Yeah, get a second opinion.
Absolutely.
Anyway, sorry.
Said you never know.
Yeah.
When you're blind, you grasp.
Wait, what?
Just that I go to
When you're blind, you grasp.
Oh, okay. I guess. When you suddenly go blind, yeah.
Yeah, and if you're scared, you
And
grasp.
if you're scared, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah. So I understand that.
Yeah.
the Wills Eye Institute, and they're a fantastic hospital in Philadelphia. I did go to Wills Eye Institute, and of course they confirmed that I had Leber's.
Okay.
They diagnosed me as what's called 1 foot blurry. So from my face to a foot away, I could see shadows, just blurry shadows. And from a foot away, it was totally black.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
So the fantastic doctors there said that I had to immediately get into a blind hospital and learn how to live as a blind person. They wanted me to start walking with a cane. The Blind Foundation showed up at my house within a week and wanted me to apply for disability. I said no to everything.
Why?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I mean, okay. I cannot pretend to know what it's like to be, an adult and lose my sight. That's
Right.
not something that I'm even going to try to pretend that I know about. However, I could see maybe not jumping to apply for disability payments right away, because that's hard enough to admit, right? But why would you say no to life-changing assistance?
Well, I mean, I could see someone like she asked for a second opinion. You're right in the middle of it. It just happened. You're an adult. I could see somebody, and obviously in her situation, it eventually led to something different. I could see somebody still being in a sort of functional denial.
Yeah.
So I can empathize with that. Thank you, Bacala, Driving Ape Man. The fuck is a blind hospital?
She meant what she meant. There's no such thing as a blind hospital.
Yeah.
What she meant was one of those training centers.
Right. Yeah.
That teach independent living skills.
Right.
They teach orientation and mobility, which is how to use a cane, how to learn how to determine what's called traffic surges, which will tell you when it's safe to cross the street. You learn Braille, you learn to cook, basic, necessary life skills.
Yeah. Now, she hasn't said yet.
And counseling.
Right. And she hasn't said yet, but I'm hoping / assuming she had a husband or family that was at least in the interim helping her,
too.
because if she was that blind the entire time that she's going through this, I'm guessing she wasn't all by herself in the process.
Yeah, I hope she enlightens us, because I can't, she's not saying.
Yeah. We'll see if she does. I don't know if I call it vital context. I'm just sort of curious.
Yeah.
Mr. Tickle Trunk was late. He missed the hellos. His life is over. Well,
Aw.
hello, Mr. Tickle Trunk. And as well, hello to BG and Buddy C. Buddy and anybody else I can spell. Scott Marsh, Faithless. All right. Moving on. Oh, Cannibalistic Wizard. The Other Choice. Functional.
Hey, Functional.
You see, when I got the diagnosis in the mail, the people who read
Sorry. I was thinking, when you got the diagnosis in the mail, how did you know it came in the mail? Sorry, that was a bad joke. All right, moving back a little bit.
diagnosis in the mail,
Yeah.
the people who read me the diagnosis, I remember the very last paragraph said, this patient has the most severe type of Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy, but 2% of people diagnosed with this disease spontaneously recover their sight. And I was going to be in that 2%, you see.
Oh, okay.
What? Wait, what?
Okay,
first of all, shame on the doctors for saying that, because
yeah, false hope.
that is false hope. You don't give somebody that to hold on to.
But is it true though? I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, well,
I
so
really don't know.
all right, so chat, our crack research team, as we're watching this, if it is true that there is a 2% chance of full recovery from this, and I mean, if it is a true thing, false hope or not, you can't avoid it, and they
Yeah.
wouldn't want to withhold that information from her. So yeah, I guess that's the thing. It's like, but then you're living your entire life hoping that someday you'll just wake up and your sight will be back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because healing starts with belief.
Whoa.
No, it doesn't.
Whoa. Oh, that was a jump. Healing starts with belief. I believe my severed leg will grow back. I mean, if you mean psychological, if you mean coping and believing in yourself, that kind of stuff, I guess, but you're not talking about that. You're talking about reversal of blindness based on good feelings.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I ignored everything.
Wow, you're a genius.
I spent a year and a half focusing on my health.
Yeah.
I ate bitter food. I ate sour food. I'll get to that a little bit later.
Wait, what?
Bitter food and sour food?
What does that have to do with your eyes?
Well, given her introduction, I'm assuming she thinks that her diet is what triggered her levers, and therefore her diet can turn off her levers. That's my guess.
Then eat nothing but carrots, lady.
Yeah, get your vitamin A in there. Thank you, Matt Barnes. That was an Evel Knievel leap, that statement. Yeah, we just suddenly, we entered a whole different dimension at that point.
I focused on meditation. I focused on positivity.
Good.
Within a year and a half, I regained the majority of my eyesight. And when I went back to the doctors, they said, "What did you do?" And they had no idea. They could tell that the optic nerve that was torn a year and a half before that had regenerated.
Okay, you're probably very lucky.
Yeah.
Is what you are. I mean, and in my limited experience, I don't have much. Like my sister's blind in one eye. Oh, by the way, my sister wanted me to ask you something. Blind press. So my sister's blind in one eye. She had effectively an aneurysm when she was very young. She's completely functional with one eye and everything else. But she was wondering, how do you do makeup?
I don't usually. I don't. Like I have. What I do when I have done makeup is I do very like stuff that's very similar to my skin tone, so I don't do outrageous stuff, like outrageously like red or like stuff that calls attention to it. It would just be like highlight stuff, like very close to matching skin tones. So I would try to get as like say for example eyeshadow. I would try to get an eyeshadow that either only had one in it or like two, so that I wouldn't mix up the colors, because you know how some eyeshadow palettes have like 6 different shades, and it's all very confusing for a blind person because you can't label them.
Well, I guess my sister's question is that she has some difficulty actually applying the makeup.
Yeah, that's
correctly.
where I get the issue, is because not only is it hard for me because I can't see, but my hands shake a little bit because from the meds that I take.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I've learned to do, my best friend actually tried to help me do makeup when we were younger, and I have gotten good at doing lipsticks. Because what I do is I do it in half. I don't do the whole lip at once. I start in the middle and go to the left.
Yeah.
And then go back to the middle and go to the right. And do that way. And then kind of, do the lip smush thing. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
And eyeshadow I was pretty good at applying because I would always do it in the same direction. I would always do it from left to right, so starting from my nose and going out. Okay. In very small strokes, and I always would tap off the applicator brush when I put eyeshadow on it, just to make sure I didn't have too much, because sometimes it would just cake on if I didn't, and I looked like a clown.
It's funny you say that because thank you, Pinkal, the driving ape man. To be honest, she ends up looking like a horror movie harlot.
He doesn't like when I have makeup on. I don't do. That's why I don't really do makeup very much. So
that was a bit of a tangent, but
it's hard. It's really hard to do.
Yeah,
if you have no sight.
Yeah, my sister, she like I say, she has perfect vision in one eye, but just basically none in the other, and she has some trouble, I guess, applying makeup.
Pinkala says I look like shit with makeup on.
Oh, great! But anyway, back to the point I was getting with the lady here, who, from so far from her story, sounds just very lucky.
Yeah.
In my limited experience, when I woke up one day, sat down at the computer, started playing a video game, and suddenly my right eye exploded into a just sea of different colors and things, and then suddenly went into a fog. It just happened to be the day that my sister was coming to visit me, and we were going to go out and hang out. So she was already on her way in a car, and I was like, we're not going to the store, we're going to the hospital.
Yeah.
And so I was lucky that day that my sister was already coming, because I don't drive, and my sister does. And then secondly, when I did get to the hospital, I was doubly lucky because the foremost eye expert in that hospital network happened to be doing rounds that day, just randomly. He was basically retired, but he'd come in occasionally just to sort of help out.
Okay.
And he was there that day. And so as soon as I had a problem with my eye, I was not only at the hospital, I also had the best care I could have asked for. And they applied, I got an injection in my eyeball, which I will tell you is maybe not the worst thing that's ever happened in my life, but I do not recommend it for anybody that doesn't have to have it done. And over the course of the next several months, I eventually got to the point where, so far as I could, except for unless I really focus on it, unless I really pay attention, I've essentially regained my entire sight. And when I went to the eye doctor about 7 or 8 months after that to get a new prescription for my glasses, he did all the looks and everything. And before he did his little eye checks, I told him, if you see anything odd in my right eye, it's because I had a vein burst, an occlusion, etc. And he's like, if you hadn't told me, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
I was very fortunate. So I'm not going to discount the possibility that this lady's very fortunate. However, sure, I am wondering, because we're going to get there hopefully in the next minute or two, what she says her magic potion was. But here we go.
And so they said, just keep doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
That time was so extraordinary and so depressing and so sad and so amazing. You know, the worst part of that time was not that I lit my hair on fire because I got too close to a candle. Not that I had bumps and bruises all over my face because I was bumping into walls. I couldn't see my children's faces. For 2 years, I could not see my children's faces.
That's got to be traumatic.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's got to be traumatic.
That's very sad.
Up north, Chief said, sounds like the Scribelight family has eye issues. Well, I mean, my entire family wears glasses. I mean, I've had a nearsightedness since I was like 6 years old. So that's completely common. As far as like eye issues, what happened to me is not the same thing that happened to my sister. It's more complicated what happened to my sister when she was young. What happened to me is something that is common in people who are like 30 years older than I am.
Yeah.
As far as the doctor said. So I'm just ahead of my time, I guess. Thank you, Piccolo, again. Medically, the eyeball is the Wolverine of the body. Yeah, the doctor said that, eyes can heal, but at least in my case, he said that at the end of the process, my situation was the best he's ever seen in his career as far as what could be hoped for in that situation. Admittedly, most of his patients in that same situation are several years older than I am, so their bodies don't heal as much. And I mean, I guess if it had to happen, it happened when I'm still young enough to where everything could kind of get back into place. Plus, I had treatment immediately on the day it occurred, which is also very fortunate. So anyway, okay, so she couldn't see her kids' faces for 2 years. Okay, so far I don't have, I mean, aside from the suspicion of what she's going to tell us is her magic potion for curing Lieber's blindness, I can understand this lady's turmoil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But despite that, and I'm so grateful that I can see my children's faces again, but despite that, you know, the only thing that I can't do now, and I regained most of my sight, but the only thing I can't do is drive.
Most of your sight.
Then you haven't regained most of your sight.
I was about to say, like, it's not a complete reversal. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll take that over the alternative if I was in her place. But so you didn't. It wasn't like it just turned off and was completely cured. Okay, so the title of this is a little off.
So she's still visually impaired.
Okay.
That's if she can't drive.
Yeah.
Then she's visually impaired. Like that's. Yeah.
One thing I can't do these days. And for those of you who used to drive with me, you might consider that a favor to the rest of the world. You're welcome. But the most amazing thing about my blindness and spending 2 years of my life blind was that it was such an amazing gift. It gave me my purpose. It was such a blessing. It enabled me to build a health company.
Oh no. Oh no, please tell me no.
Yeah.
She is not going to be saying she built a health company and she's going to use her story of how she cured her blindness with fucking meditation and bitter food.
Yeah, TEDx can sometimes and very blatantly be a sales pitch stage.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if this is where she's going, this is dangerous shit.
Yeah, if she's like, here's my method for curing blindness with my health company regimen. Oh boy.
And we work with hospitals and Fortune 500 companies to bring nutrition to them, to bring wellness to them. And so every single day for the last 10 years, I get to talk about food and I get to talk about healing.
Oh, God.
Yeah, okay. I don't have a square on the card for like cynical sales pitch or something. Maybe I should. Maybe I should have a card on there for turns into sales pitch.
That's disgusting. That's
especially with something like late life onset blindness. Can you imagine how many older people, like, you know, their vision is going or something else, and they hear about this? Wow, she had like the most ridiculous late stage blindness disease, and she turned it around with meditation and bitter foods. If only I can do that too.
Not just that, but can you imagine because these diseases affect like elderly and children.
Yeah.
So can you imagine?
Yeah.
Distraught parents, trying to do anything they can to save their kid's sight.
Yeah.
Going to this chick.
I'm looking at the bingo card right now. I'm thinking maybe I'll update it, take out, like, of all the things on the card that are still kind of iffy, it's wage gap. Wage gap is something that is so very circumstantial, but turns into sales pitch.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of so just hold on, guys. We'll see what happens in the next couple of TEDx's. But all right. So anyway, you help out hospitals and Fortune 500 companies and wellness. Okay.
And all of those people have one thing in common: food matters.
What?
What? You mean people, food? I never made the connection.
Of course, food matters. You don't eat, you die. Wow. Okay.
Has contributed somehow to their illness.
Wait a second. You had a genetic disease. Food had nothing to do with it.
Oh my
God. Unless you're going to tell me that there is some breakthrough science that says that because you ate that orange, you triggered the genetic disease in you, which doesn't make any sense. But unless you're going to tell me that, your situation has nothing to do with your diet. Come on.
And she's saying hospitals, so she's not just targeting like blind people.
Yeah.
She's targeting like cancer patients, and like this is sick.
We have a grave burden on our health. And that grave burden is called chemicals.
Oh, Fuck you.
What?
Oh,
Okay, tell me about chemicals. Tell me all about chemicals. You know, like water.
Now, I don't have the time here to talk about the long list of chemicals that exist in our food today in this country.
Everything is a chemical.
You're breathing a chemical, you dumbass.
Yeah, we are made of chemical. What?
But I picked 5 doozies.
Oh, that's a list. A
Oh.
list. Oh, 5 is a list. Okay, go into the. Actually, let's review the bingo card real quick just to make sure we haven't missed anything else. Collectivizes own demographic. Her own demographic is people with Leber's syndrome or whatever, which is like rare as hell, and she hasn't collectivized it. She's
no.
Yeah, I don't think so. Systemic, institutional, no. Equity, no. Childhood or family anecdote. Family. Oh, she couldn't see her kids' faces. Yeah. Diversity or inclusion, no. Plays victim, no. She's taking the I am survivor, hear me roar kind of thing.
Yeah.
Microaggressions, unconscious bias, no. Privilege. Her flying around the country and seeing 70 specialists might imply that she's got something, but she hasn't brought that up as an argumentative point.
Yeah, well, if you have, you could argue that she's got privilege because she had the money to fly to all these places and start a health company.
Well, the question is privilege a part of her presentation or argument?
No.
And so, no, I can't really say that so far. Contradicts own point or argument. Scientifically speaking, yes, yeah. But I'll give her some more space to see if she does something else. Patriarchy, no. Weightless example. She hasn't really given any. She's her own example so far.
Well, I could say belief equals healing is a weightless example. Because in the context that she was putting it in,
yeah,
she meant belief equals physical healing, which
okay.
is a pretty big leap.
I'll give that to you. Weightless example on that one. Okay. Wage gap, no. Feminism, she hasn't brought up gender at all. Marginalization, no. White supremacy, no. Word salad. I'm not going to give it.
There.
She's getting there. Yet. She's getting there. I'll give her some more space. Self-vilification or wretchedness. By no means has she vilified herself. She is the guru. She is the master.
Yeah.
Make something about race, sex, etc. for no reason. No. Attempt to coin new buzzword, buzz phrase. Not yet. Mind reading assumes motives. No. Not really. She talked about her doctors, but they were just telling her what they knew. So benevolent condescension. I'm close to that just because she's talking to people as though, like good eating will cure your illnesses.
I'm getting almost past that to what's the word I'm looking for? Just premeditated. Like this is predatory almost is what I'm getting towards. Because
okay, we'll sit on that one, but by the end of it, I'm sure we'll get there. And then lastly, leaves out vital context.
She kind of does though, because she's not saying like. The people who read me my diagnosis, like she hasn't mentioned any family except for her kids.
Yeah.
She hasn't told us how she managed to survive those 2 years without, like, she doesn't even mention, any family support, she was like, I lit my hair on fire and walked into stuff and couldn't see my kids' faces.
I'm only hesitant because as far as her presentation, we'll get there, but we have to find out what she means by all the diet and the stuff. But so far, as far as the meat of her story, she hasn't left out anything that I was like, confused by. I mean, little details like who was reading her mail and taking care of, like, but
that is little. Yeah.
is that vital to the story yet? Not so much, but we'll see. Okay, so for reference, guys, we have circled so far: childhood or family anecdote, weightless example, free space, a list, and anecdote that probably never happened. Let's continue.
My first one is BHT and BHA. And the reason I picked it first, and because it's my favorite, is because I have a personal history with it.
BHT and BHA?
BHC.
Oh, what's that?
That I don't know, but I don't know what BHC or BHA are.
Okay. And
I
she...
have no idea what she...
If she doesn't tell us, then we'll circle leaves out vital context.
In 1989, I was pregnant with my first son.
Okay.
I was 5. Don't do the math.
You were
What?
5?
That is a bad age joke. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Matt Barnes. No junk food, just earthly goods. I ate weird berries in the woods. Now I'm seeing colors. I'm getting higher. I think I'll start a forest fire. The Dead Kennedys. Oh, the Dead Kennedys.
That song. That's a
Oh, Holiday in Cambodia. Oh, man. Thank you, Matt Barnes. Okay. Moving on.
While I was pregnant was when I started.
Yeah.
While I was pregnant was when I started to do research. Because
in the chat, Shadow Sonata, thank you. Food preservatives, BHA and BHT.
Oh, T. Okay.
Okay. It'd be nice if she had told us that, but thank you, Shadow Sonata, for providing us some context. And thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Haven't had a wine mom using Facebook science on the stage in ages. Gotta love the classics. Especially when she's got a product to sell or a service to sell.
Because I wanted to make sure that my baby was going to get the very best food. And so I was determined that I was going to feed myself right, feed my baby right, and do the best I possibly could as far as nutrition. So I started to do research, and I started to read about these chemicals that we have in this country and that don't exist anywhere in the world. They not only they don't exist, but they are illegal. There was a chemical, the first chemical I read about is called BHA and BHT.
Those are two different chemicals. I'm sorry to be a nitpicker, but yeah.
Listen to how angry she's getting.
They don't exist anywhere else in the world. So it's only in the United States do whatever BHA and BHT are. I don't even know what they are, but they only exist in America. Okay.
And they're illegal everywhere else. Not only do they not exist, they're illegal. So somehow everybody made a law against something that only exists
in America.
In America.
Also, health standards everywhere but in America are better than America.
Yeah.
Okay. And that one Stern of Satania says, that turned the frickin' frogs gay. Yeah. All right. Tell us more, lady. I'm really listening now.
It is illegal in England, and it's been illegal before 1989, and it's illegal in over 100 countries except for the U.S.
Okay, what is it and why? I don't even know. You say two sets of 3 different letters say that it's one chemical. Why? And if you don't tell me why, leaves out vital context is a quick decision.
And do you know why it's illegal?
I'm dying to know.
I don't even know what it
I
is.
am dying to know why.
It's illegal because it is linked to birth defects.
Oh, okay.
So, are you saying that your mom ate something with BH, whatever the hell you're saying, and now you have Leber's disease?
Yeah. So
is that where you're going?
So the American Food and Drug Administration, against all science that every other country on the planet accepts, allows these chemicals. I mean, I'm willing to believe that there are stupid things that have occurred in our government. I don't know why I say that, but what?
And so when I was reading and studying all this about food...
Were you reading and studying it on like WebMD by any chance? Did you go to some college? Did you just look this stuff up on the internet by any chance?
She went to the local library and got out the big encyclopedia.
Okay.
And I read about it.
Our crack research team on the chat, Mr. Dax, and I'm gonna screw up the pronunciation of this. Butylated hydrogenosol, BHA, and butylated hydroxytoluene. And they are what exactly? Preservatives, people are saying? Okay, they're artificial antioxidants and preservatives. Okay, and they're illegal in every other country on the planet except America. Okay.
One wonders how America manages to export so much preserved food.
Okay.
What the fuck is she talking about?
I'm sure I don't consume this. I walked into my kitchen and opened up my cabinet doors and pulled out bags of nuts because, see, I believe in nuts. Nuts are anti-aging. Nuts are amazing for your health. Nuts.
You believe in nuts?
I'm a third grader just then when she said that. Eat your nuts. Okay, so chemicals that you didn't even think to pay attention to before you were pregnant, suddenly when you're pregnant, you're paying attention to them, and years after the fact, you're blaming them on your Libers kicking in.
And somehow managing to exclude them from yourself, from your diet, which I highly doubt you were successful in doing that. You now say cured your Libers?
Yeah, how is it that your entire life, your entire adult life, up to and through having 2 children, you ate foods that probably had this stuff in it in some way, shape, or form? Nothing happened. Then one day, like you say, you wake up and you're blind. You're diagnosed with a genetic disease that is only 2% of anyone who ever gets it has a reversal or any kind of, remission. And now it's some, of all the things that you ingest, of all the things that you're exposed to in your life, it's these 2 chemicals that did it? Okay. I really want to know, and I don't know by looking at this, and I didn't see in the capsule of the presentation. Does our speaker have any credentials in science? Anything? I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that she's correct. I'm just curious to know if she actually has any formal training in this to be running a health food company and advising hospitals and Fortune 500 companies on quote-unquote wellness. Mr. Tickle Trunk, thanks so much. Too much dihydrogen monoxide is deadly. Chemicals, bruh. Chemicals are the problem. Yeah. Of which we're all made of stuff. Our DNA is made of chemicals, for God's sakes. Deoxyribonucleic acid. They're chemicals. Anyway.
Pulled out nuts.
Pull those nuts.
Turned the bag over, and my walnuts said, ingredients. Walnuts, BHT.
Dun, dun, dun.
And then I pulled out tons of other products, and I found BHT in my products.
Dramatic squirrel. Dun, dun, dun.
And you felt lied to and betrayed.
Yeah, and everyone in America is dropping dead and going blind right now. Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait. Cephas Wolf says, BHT orbulated hydrotoluene also stabilizes fats and is used to retain food smell, color, and flavor. It, too, appeared on the synthetic chemical scene in the late 1940s. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be advocating for, like, artificial preservatives in food as something that's, like, the greatest thing since sliced bread. Although it probably keeps my sliced bread fresh for a couple extra days. But she's got a long row to hoe here to prove to me that that's what caused her Libers to kick in, and consequently the subtraction of that from her diet is what caused her Libers and her optical cortex or whatever to reattach.
Her optic nerve was torn, apparently.
Yeah, her optic nerve to reattach itself. You need me more information on that one.
The next doozy
Uh-huh.
is something called ractopamine. Anybody heard of ractopamine?
No. Okay, so we have
No.
3 chemicals now. We got BHA, BHT, and now ractopamine. Thank you, Matt Barnes. Don't laugh. I've died 3 times this week from BHT ingestion.
I'm sorry. I have to laugh.
Oh, Blind Press failed the test, Matt Barnes. What are you going to do? You know what else I noticed? This is one of the first, I'm sure it's not the only, but it's one of the first TEDx talks that doesn't have a red circle carpet. It's just her on a wooden stage. That's bizarre for a TEDx. Usually, the red circle carpet is a necessary component of a TEDx talk.
Is it wrong that while we're listening to this, I have Sir Six theme song in my head?
You mean wrong morally or just wrong and correct?
It's wrong and correct.
Oh, probably.
Ractopamine is in most of the meat in this country.
Okay, and what does it do?
In February 2014, Russia put a ban on our meat.
Oh, well, if Russia did it, we must follow. What?
Yes, Russia put a ban on our meat, on your meat, because of the chemical in it, not because of, any political things that may have been happening in 2014, or just it was only the ractopamine, whatever the hell that is.
It is in most of the supermarkets in this country.
Okay.
Except ractopamine is illegal in over 100 countries, and we use it to make animals leaner faster.
And we're all dropping dead of ractopamine? Right. Okay.
She's a vegan, I bet.
I assume so, given that she looks well. I mean, she doesn't look. I mean, she doesn't look like. I've seen vegans who look very unhealthy. Like they have they don't get as much protein as they should, and so on and so forth. She's kind of a milfish, I guess. I can't tell. I don't know. I'm particular, maybe not that particular.
Why is it illegal in most countries?
I don't know.
Because it's linked to cancer.
Everything's linked to, good God, if you ate carrots every day of your life, you probably get cancer. Everything could possibly cause cancer or contribute to cancer, for God's sake.
Again, I'd like to point out that if it's illegal, like the way she's saying that these chemicals are illegal in all these countries, she only cited one country that banned U.S. meat.
Yeah.
Why if it's illegal, as she says, in all of these 100 countries, how is the U.S. exporting so much food?
I don't know. Okay. Well, I'm waiting for her to get to her point. Unless this is all like preamble to, here's all the bad things that America puts in its food. My food service health thing doesn't have any of those, blah, 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 blah. I can only imagine that's where we're going with this. But she still hasn't, the one thing she hasn't said yet, and maybe she'll get there, is that these chemicals caused her Liebers to take place.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
I should pause here for a second and let you guys know that I really do have friends.
Well, I'm glad you told us, because otherwise I might think that you're just sort of a very terrible person to try to get along with.
They just uncomfortable. They're laugh. They're like,
yeah, because can you imagine taking her to out to dinner?
She sounds so when she talks about this stuff, she's yelling. You can hear it. She's yelling into the microphone. She's upset. She's getting angry. It's okay, calm down.
Take a breath.
Over for dinner parties.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the poor waiter who walks up to me with pigs and a blanket on tray?
Yeah, I can. And is your name Karen by any chance? No, it's Vicky. Okay, Vicky DeRosa, whoever that is. Okay, yeah. I see. I've had friends, or I guess maybe glorified acquaintances in my social groups in the past who were very food conscious, and they would let you know that they're food conscious all the time
Yeah.
in everything, every location that involved food, and even when it didn't. So yes, I can imagine you at a dinner party. I really can.
Is pigs in a blanket still? See, I don't go to dinner parties. Is pigs in a blanket still a thing? You probably think I'm going to bash the hot dogs. No, not so fast.
Okay, you know what? Mind reading assumes motives. I hadn't even imagined hot dogs in my brain all day, but now suddenly, just for the heck of it, because she's talking to her audience, I'm circling mind reading assumes motives. Okay, tell me more about hot dogs.
Let me get to white flour.
What about hot dogs?
You just said not so fast. I like hot dogs, but like hot dogs are actually like, do you know what's in hot dogs?
I don't think anybody knows what's in hot dogs. Okay. Okay, how do you go from hot dogs to white flour?
I don't know.
Potassium bromate.
Yeah.
In China, several years ago.
In China.
Tons of chips were yanked off of supermarkets in China because they contain potassium bromate. Potassium bromate has been linked to cancer, illegal in over 100 countries, except we put it in most of our baked products. Most of your bread has potassium bromate. It is unequivocally linked to cancer. Japan did a study, which is why China yanked it off the shelves. Where were the products from in China? U.S.
I have this image of someone standing in front of a cork board with red twine going between pictures back and forth all over the place, telling me about the conspiracy that is white bread across the world.
I'm with you.
Oh, okay. And so are you going to tell us that has to do with hot dog buns? But then not so fast you said about hot dogs. I mean, if she transitioned from hot dogs to hot dog buns, that would have maybe made some sense, but she didn't. And now it's China and Japan, and it's illegal, but yet they imported the bread, but now they don't. So China and Japan do not import bread of any kind from America. Is that what I understand? Because America will only send very special bread to China and Japan.
Yes, we send them the poison bread.
Yeah. What?
The next chemical of choice is a chemical called BVO. You might have heard of BVO because there have been plenty of petitions signed. Now, granted, plenty of companies have taken BVO out of the sports drinks, but brominated vegetable oil is in so many sports drinks. Children drink sports drinks. It's been linked to cancer, and worse, it has been linked to hindering children's growth.
Okay, hold on. Okay, you know what? For the sake of argument, I will believe everything she said so far about the chemicals, etc., and so forth. Okay, I'll believe it. Okay, just for the presentation within the universe of this presentation. You didn't have cancer. You didn't have a growth problem. You had a genetic disease that kicked in one day and apparently is still there. It's just that you've recovered to the point where you're functional but still can't drive. What does any of this have to do with your situation? Because so far I've heard nothing about what you're eating has to do with your recovery. I've heard conspiracy theories and statistical, I don't even know, statistical or just statements made without any evidence presented that these chemicals all contribute to cancer. Like I said, if you eat too much of any one thing, it could contribute to cancer. If you smoke, if you drink, if you ate nothing but carrots every day for the rest of your life, you probably get cancer because of God knows what else. Sorry, real quick. Thank you, Matt Barnes. I want to see her tie Bigfoot to Hitler to the greenhouse effect to the Illuminati killing us with chemicals. Might as well. Okay, lady. Okay, are you on the stage? I assume you're selling your health services, but you started this out with your own story of recovery, which is, and I'll say, regardless of anything else, I am glad that our speaker diagnosed with a genetic disease that in 98% of cases results in total blindness. She has recovered to the point where she's at least functional enough to move around in the world. And if the worst inconvenience that she has is that she can't drive, hey, hell of a lot better than the alternative.
Oh, for sure.
But so far, I don't know where she's going. And it sounds like she's selling quasi-false hope to people with eye problems. But she's talking about cancer and child growth. We're 9 minutes and 17 seconds, into a 13:57 talk. When are we going to get to the whole, here's my diet plan for curing Leber's mostly? Come on, you can do it.
The next lovely chemical.
Oh, God.
Which might be my favorite.
Your favorite? I don't believe you.
I'd be
Yeah.
Artificial sweeteners.
Just across the board, artificial sweeteners? Okay.
I think she's going after the aspartame.
Probably.
I can't tell you how many people we work with on a daily basis. The second we take them off artificial sweeteners, their symptoms go away.
What symptoms? Of what? What are you treating with your diet plans? You haven't said cancer. Their cancer symptoms go away. Their blindness symptoms go away.
If I may, for a second.
Sure.
She keeps talking about cancer.
Yes.
And it's really pissing me off because I just lost my uncle to brain cancer. And for people like this person to parade around and, make the grandiose claims about these chemicals being definitively linked to cancer and making it seem like, like she just said, oh, the minute we take them off sweeteners, these people, their symptoms go away. Like, this is dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
Like, this reminds me of the jelly juice shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is... It's predatory, what she's doing.
You know what I'm going to do? Go into the bingo card again. I'm going to circle contradicts own point or argument because she started out with blindness. She's talking about cancer. Taking that out. Also, leaves out vital context. These things may contribute to cancer. They do not cause cancer definitively. And that's seemingly what she's talking about. Also, see a reduction in their symptoms. Of what? Yeah. She hasn't even said, what are they focusing on? What kind of people is she hoping to serve or trying to serve with her service? She hasn't said.
No.
She starts out with her own story, which is a genetic disease, which no diet in the world is going to reverse. And then she talks about cancer and child growth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dizziness, headaches, shakes. I personally have seen tons of people diagnosed with MS, and it's not MS, it's toxic levels of artificial sweeteners.
What?
How can you say that?
It's not MS, it's artificial sweeteners. Really?
Quick, somebody go tell Alex not to drink any Diet Coke or anything like that. His MS might go away. Fuck
I was
you.
about to say, it's not MS. You're just having too much.
Wow.
Okay. Thank you, Corey Suzuki. Did someone say cancer? Yes. Of all the people in the chat, at least that I know of, and no offense to anyone who has otherwise, Corey Suzuki knows something about cancer. If you'd like to hear more about Corey Suzuki's involvement with cancer, if that's a way to put it, you can check out my playlist on my channel, Familiar with the Matter, and look up the one called Surviving Brain Cancer. But actually, Corey, it may be the case you just drank too much Coca-Cola. I don't want to, or just chewed too much sugar-free gum. I just want to make sure. Might not have been brain cancer.
Much bread.
Yeah, too much bread. You had too much bread. Yeah, you ate too much bread. Okay. All right, Dr. House, tell us how it's not MS, it's aspartame.
So what is the answer? What
was the question? what was the answer? What?
What is the answer to all this food? What is the answer? How do we eat right?
What is the answer to food?
the answer to food is, okay, how do you eat right? All right, you know what? If you're so concerned about artificial preservatives and chemicals, quote unquote chemicals, in your food, then live off the grid, grow your own food fresh, and eat nothing but what you grow out of the ground. And you have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about processed foods. And, in the long run, you'll probably be better off if you did. I won't deny it. Eating fresh fruits and vegetables, and your own water that you pull out of a well, and purify all by yourself, and everything else. If you live off the grid and want to live out, go ahead. There are communes out there that do this all the time. There are people that live off the grid in like New Mexico and Arizona, all over the place. Do that. Go ahead. I mean, you might be better off. I don't know. But so far, you haven't made a single point. You haven't asked a single question about anything except to tell us that, quote unquote, chemicals are bad. Your blindness reversed itself because of a diet you haven't specified. And symptoms have gone away because, MS is actually too much sugar. Too much artificial sweetener.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Tickle Trunk. Studies have shown that drinking wine, coffee, and lemon juice both increase and decrease rates of cancer. Woo train pulling into the station. Woo woo.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember, like, it's always the joke. There were all these stories in the 80s and 90s about how, eggs contribute to high cholesterol. Eggs are good for you. Eggs contribute to cancer. Eggs reverse cancer.
Yep.
Everything can do everything. Everybody's, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to decry anyone who's looking for things to either mitigate the risks of cancer or to find cures for cancer at all.
No.
But a lot of the time, it is a guessing game because it's very difficult to determine in a lot of cases, like what caused this or what can go against it or what can't. Or they did a study where it's like, this study showed coffee drinkers have a 3% higher rate of breast cancer or something. And in this other study, it showed that a high caffeine content in your body can actually reduce the chances of cancer. Which is it? We don't know. Thank you, Lady Gopher, for the smiley dog cat fox. You see, Lady Gopher likes you. Wowie, wow, wow. Yeah, see, Lady Gopher likes you. Yeah. Thank you, Lady Gopher. Okay. Wait a second. Lexi Mads has a birthday. Oh. Lexi Mads dares to have a birthday on a day where there's not a Lords of the Night stream.
How dare she? Or he? Or them?
It.
Okay.
I think that's safer. I don't know. I've never sung Happy Birthday, as far as I recall. I've never sung Happy Birthday on a TEDx talk. I may have. Let me take that back. It is a rare instance where I would sing Happy Birthday on a TEDXcellence. You think I should?
Why not?
People's eardrums? Okay.
I can
tell
help.
You what. I know you have to be the Satsu who talks in between the verses.
Okay, I could do that.
Okay. Lexi Mads, special occasion. It's your birthday. Don't usually do this. But, because you are Lexi Mads with power, I don't want to risk it. So, here we go. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you.
I am Girl Satsu today.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Lexi.
Happy birthday, dear Lexi Mads.
I've run out of things to say.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Lexi. Hope you enjoyed it. It's not going to happen very often, but there you go. All right. Back to our, I don't know, speaker, guru, something.
Well, the BS theory of health. Now, why do I call it the BS theory of health?
I don't know.
Because it's all BS.
What?
It's all BS? Everything? Wow, okay. Tell me more.
There's such BS out there. How do you know? You hear about the paleo diet and the vegan diet and the vegetarian and low carb and low fat and sports drinks, too much protein, not enough protein. Aren't you all confused?
I think I'm looking at the BS theory right now.
No, I think she's confused.
So you know what? Let's call it the BS theory to health.
Okay.
Why? Because I'm ticked off,
Oh,
but also because it works. The acronym works, and I'm going to show you how. BULLSHIT.
wait, you turned bullshit into an acronym. Okay, I'm.
Okay, she sells this to hospitals and Fortune 500 companies.
You know what? If you're going to turn bullshit into an acronym for something, I'm going to say that is an attempt to coin a new buzzword or buzz phrase.
I would agree with you on that one.
All right, circling that on the board. Let's hear what her bullshit theory is.
B is for bitter food. I told you I ate a lot of bitter food. Told you I ate a lot of bitter food. Bitter is better. The dandelions that we squash and that we use weed killer to get rid of,
What?
the dandelions are amazing.
Are you a rabbit?
Yeah, you do graze out in your front yard nibbling on dandelions and the dandelion milk? Do you milk dandelions like a cow? Like, really? Dandelions. Okay, tell me more.
I grew up eating dandelions.
Well, okay, wait. You grew up eating dandelions and yet you still went fucking blind.
Yeah, okay. You grew up eating. I remember as a kid being stupid. I bit into a dandelion once. It was the worst fucking thing I ever. Nah! Tastes like yuck.
Oh my god.
You grew up eating dandelions. This might explain a few things.
But when I was blind, I ate them morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I put them in my drinks. I put them in my juices. I noshed on them all day long. Dandelions are amazing. Bitter is better.
That cured your Liebers.
Oh my god. You
is to unlock your spice cabinet.
Unlock. Yeah, because I got a big combination deal on that. I actually put all my spices in a safe and I throw away the combination.
Yep.
What?
We're using things, one of the worst things out there. We're using things like barbecue flavoring and marinade and spice, beef flavor, chicken flavor. Unlike your spice cabinet, all the spices that are in the back, get rid of the ones in the front that say all sorts of flavorings and bring out cumin and turmeric and cayenne pepper and paprika.
What?
Okay, you do know people cook with those, right? That's why they're in their cupboards.
I think we just dove off the deep end of the crazy train on this one.
I'm with you on that. I just felt the bottom drop out of my stomach. You know how when you go at the top of the hill on the roller coaster?
Yeah.
And then it just goes... Yeah, that's what I just felt.
So I need to graze on dandelions and clean out my spice cabinet. Okay, you got several letters left on this one.
Hippocrates said, medicine is food and food is thy medicine. Use your spices. They're medicinal.
The spice. The worms are the spice are the worms. The spice will heal the universe.
This is the Spice Girls have just taken on a whole new thing for me now.
Get rid of your spice.
L. L is for lower your sugar.
Okay,
Twice?
all right. Okay, now, just taking it at face value, that is not necessarily bad advice for overall health.
No, it is not.
Okay, so broken clock is right on the third letter. Okay, and then?
I'm not going to spend too much time there. You've all heard it. And I'm not telling you to do anything 100%. I'm big on talking about the 80-20 rule. So you know what? If you're going to eat junk, 80% of the time, just eat clean. And the 20%, you know what? The 80% medicine is going to combat the 20%.
Word salad.
Yep.
Kieverdam says new buzz phrase. Already circled buzz phrase for the BS acronym theory of whatever. So let me review the bingo card real quick. So far, we have circled childhood or family anecdote, contradicts own pointer argument, weightless example, free space, a list, word salad, attempt to coin new buzzword buzz phrase, mind reading, assumes motives, anecdote that probably never happened, and leaves out vital context. If we can get, and in aggregate, we'll probably get there by the end of this, but if we get benevolent condescension, we'll have at least one bingo. But let's keep going.
The second L is for lower your animal protein.
Lower my animal protein. You know that we are omnivores as humans, right? Do you know that?
Or for goodness sake, eat grass-fed beef or organic meat.
Oh, so
Yeah,
don't.
because everyone's got the money for that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But lower our animal protein, but eat grass-fed. Okay.
Because of the ractopamine.
Uh-huh.
S is for sour food. What is sour food?
I don't know.
Sauerkraut. Sauerkraut and kimchi. Amazing. Greatest health foods, anti-aging. If your gut health is great, if your digestion is great, you're going to feel awesome. A little bit of sauerkraut 3 times a week before your dinner will do amazing things for your digestion.
I don't know if that is true. That might be true. I don't know what's in sauerkraut. Maybe it does help with your digestion. I don't know.
There is some sort of thing that I've heard that eating salad before you eat dinner,
Yeah.
like any kind of salad,
Yeah.
helps digestion, not just sauerkraut. Like I've heard that
Okay.
any kind of roughage.
Yeah.
helps
Sure. Yeah. You have
digestion.
you have a little broccoli before you eat your steak or
Yeah.
something. Yeah. Okay. That's why you put broccoli on the side of your steak. You do that
Yeah.
first. Okay. All right. All right. Sure.
H. Now, for some of you who know me, know that I'm an optimist. I don't use the word hate, but I hate artificial sweeteners. And I ask that you hate them as much as I do.
Because they're actually MS. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Matt Barnes. I'd like to point out corn is a grass, thus all beef is grass-fed.
There you go.
Ooh, that's tricky. Thank you, Matt Barnes. Hate artificial sweetener. Okay, again, if you want to cut aspartame or whatever else or anything else that's not sugar out of your system, I'm not going to argue with you. Okay, go ahead. But unfortunately, you tied that directly to it's not MS, it's too much artificial sweetener,
Yeah.
which means that your reason for saying this is not only bullshit, but almost monstrous if you think about it.
It is. It's
All right.
disgusting.
I is for increase. So I've told you some of the things that you have to get rid of. Let me tell you what you can
Okay.
increase so that you can live a long, healthy, energetic life.
Yes.
You ready? Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, healthy fats, and nuts and seeds.
Oh my God, I've never heard that before. Wow,
But-
golly gee whiz.
But you just said nuts had BHT in them.
Oh, you're right. Walnut. Oh my God, walnuts cause Liebers. Thank you, formerly Rod Line. Does that mean I'll only get 80% cancer? Yeah, so, well, if I hadn't already circled contradicts own point or argument, I would do now because she went off on nuts. And now she's recommending nuts. And also listing off all the things that classically are, yes, part of this balanced diet. Thank you. I had no idea. But don't we put don't we use chemicals for like, oh, I don't know, what was it? The word is escaping me all of a sudden. The thing you spray on plants to keep the bugs off.
Oh, pest killer.
Pesticides, yes.
Pesticides.
Don't we use pesticides on vegetables?
Yes.
And those things? I mean, aren't those made of chemicals? Aren't there chemicals in vegetables? Are you sure all the chemicals in vegetables are healthy? Because chemicals.
I think you should circle benevolent condescension.
You know what? Given that sort of boilerplate, everybody knows that kind of thing, as though it's some kind of revelation. Blind Press is correct. I have circled benevolent condescension, and you know what that means.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
Right?
Yeah!
Bingo.
We have our first bingo. Might be our only bingo. We'll find out. But okay, we've got about a minute left of this, so let's go.
80% of your day, if you spend it eating those things, you're going to feel awesome. And T is for take control. Take your power back. We have given up our power.
Oh.
We've given up our power to the food manufacturers and the government.
Oh.
Don't trust what's on websites. Read ingredients and find out. Take control back.
Don't trust what's on websites. Trust me.
Again, is our speaker at least? I mean, I'll take it even from some wacko place. Credentialed in health science, food science, something. Or is she just an armchair, self-taught, I was blind and now I see, therefore I am a messiah of food science? Okay, we're almost done.
Gandhi said
Oh, God.
that the greatest wealth is health,
Yeah.
not gold or silver pieces.
Yes.
And I could not agree more.
Wow.
You know, what I do on a daily basis really does get hard sometimes. People don't want to hear about what's wrong with their food. Nobody wants to hear about what they ate wrong or what they have to give up. But I didn't go blind and get a second chance so that I could stay silent.
You didn't get a second chance by changing your diet. Okay, we're almost done. Sorry, we got 10 seconds left. Okay.
I went blind and got a second chance so that I could inspire and teach and motivate other people how to live an authentic, healthy life. And I ask that you spread that message with me. Thank you.
Go fuck yourself, lady.
A standing ovation, really? Okay, at no point in anywhere in this talk did she say, because I did X, Y, Z, my Liber's reversed. At no point did she say that. Her primary example, herself, she made herself part of the argument, so she's opened herself up for criticism. Her genetic condition was not reversed by diet any more than it was influenced to occur by diet. And if it was diet that was going to reverse it, well, it didn't do a very good job since she can't drive. And like I say, all the best to her for having gotten out of a situation that 98% of the time makes people completely blind. She's very lucky, but that's the word, lucky. This was not structured. This was not planned. This was not the result of something in diet. She has leveraged her own story of adult tragedy and stress and crisis into some example of how her perspective on diet is the correct one for MS patients, cancer patients, and kids with growth problems. Like, what?
I found her website.
Do tell.
Healthy Living Expert. Vicky DeRosa is passionate about teaching people about healthy lifestyles. Her career in health began after being diagnosed with a genetic disease that caused blindness. So she has no credentials, basically.
Right. Okay.
Thanks to her healthy lifestyle, and she beat the disease thanks to her healthy lifestyle and began a career of sharing life-changing wellness knowledge and inspiration with the world.
I press X to doubt. Okay, well, guys, I pulled up the bingo card. Let's go over the bingo card first with Blind and I, and then we will take it to the chat if there are any arguments otherwise. We already have one bingo, which is pretty good. First off, collectivizes own demographic. If the demographic is people with Leber's syndrome or disease, she only talked about herself. And she did basically underline that her situation is a rare instance.
Yeah.
So she didn't collectivize her own demographic in that regard. Okay. Systemic institutional. I'm leaning towards circling this one just because she talked about how the food industry and all these chemicals and how this country did this. And the government and all that. And we make it legal and everybody else makes it illegal.
Yeah, I think that's a circle for...
Yeah. It's not usually how systemic institutional is used, but in this case, I don't feel bad about it. Equity. No. Yeah, she didn't talk about equality of outcome per se. I mean, not really. Diversity and inclusion, no. Plays victim. I mean, if you want to say that she was victimized by the knowing poisoning of her food by the American government all her life.
No, I don't think that's... I think that she is... No, honestly... I think that she is victimizing
Yeah.
people.
Well, we'll get.
I don't
Yeah.
think she's a victim.
Yeah, that was the benevolent condescension thing.
Yeah.
Privilege wasn't really part of her argument.
No.
She may possess it herself, obviously, but that she wasn't. Like I say, any squares I don't circle. If you guys in the chat, if you have good arguments, I'll obviously accept them or at least entertain them. Patriarchy, no, she never brought up gender or anything. Never was a part of her argument. Wage gap, no, it was never about economics. Feminism, now again, no gender arguments. Marginalization, no, not really. I mean, she wasn't talking about like the oppression of people. Again, you'd have to stretch to say we're all being victimized and oppressed by the food companies. That you could make that argument, but it's a bit of a stretch.
I think it's a stretch too.
Yeah. White supremacy, no. Self-vilification or wretchedness, no. She was not in any way, shape, or form denigrating herself in this. She is the right messiah all over the place.
Yeah.
And make something about race, sex, etc. for no reason. No. She never brought up racial stuff, sex stuff, or any demographic kind of thing that you could think of, really. Now, again, if you're really stretched, out of the blue, she brought up MS. I just think that's just the quackery, basically, but I'm not quite sure that necessarily is part of her argument.
No.
But again, I'll entertain arguments to the contrary. So going to the chat, formerly Rodline, Scribe-Light. So what I've gotten from this is eat good and you won't get sick. Such insightful information. Yeah, that's kind of the benevolent condescension part of this. All the other conspiracy theories aside, yes, if you cut down on your sugar and you increase your fruits and vegetables, more likely than not, you will have better health outcomes in the long run. This is true. And this is not a secret. This is not some revelation she's delivering unto us from on high. This is just well-known, common sense health science. Spittlebuggy, Scribe-Light, did you know most packages of herbs and spices contain chemicals to keep it from sticking or clumping and also to keep it fresher longer, so she's a nutbag? No, she's not a nutbag because nutbags have BHT in them. What?
$250 for an hour and a half
What?
to talk to her?
Oh, that's what she charges? I thought you were saying you got a donation.
No, it's $250 for an hour and a half to talk to this person.
Like on a Zoom call or something?
You book now. I'm looking at her website.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like a first, and you get like a free 1 hour session, and then it's like $250. And
really?
then,
Yeah.
like, there's really no, it's interesting the way she's got it set up. There's not very much information offered under the pricing. It's like there's a learn more button, but there's not that much information available. And then there's a get I want to know more box where you like contact her. So she basically gives you bare bones information and makes you contact her if it interests you so she can talk your ear off. And
about nonsense.
About nonsense and confuse and convince you into spending money on her program.
Give me $250 so I can tell you your MS is actually aspartame.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Back to the chat. Let's see. Cannibalistic Wizard. This bitch's logic is basically pedos should be allowed to marry children because in many countries grown men are allowed to marry underage children.
Yeah.
So far, I mean, if you wanted to find a corollary, yeah, sure. Bjorn again, Christian. Oh, I like that name. Well, now I will cut back on my sugar in my triple espresso. Hey, you know, you're avoiding some percentage of cancer risk and MS. Just, you know, well, I mean, it's sugar. If it's real sugar, you're probably okay. You'll just get diabetes. It's all right. Formerly Rod Line, I'll tell you to eat your vegetables for like $100 an hour. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's nice work if you can get it. Telling people common sense stuff and branding it as some kind of self-help revelation. And Keverdam puts Blind Press's Streamlabs and merch
Oh, thank
link in
you.
the description. Thank you,
Keverdam.
Keverdam. Simon Willikins, you never shouted my name. Oh, sorry. 1 second. Simon Willikins! Are you happy now, Simon? Did I make your day? Well, I hope I did. And everyone, I hope we all made your day in this quackery, snake oil con artist. I mean, I didn't know what to expect from this. Half of me thought this is going to be something about how she really did like do something to improve her life or change her health circumstances, and it's reasonable, etc. She lost me at belief, and she certainly lost me at MS as aspartame. I just knew. This is another situation, kind of like our one of our previous speakers, who just by luck of the draw, her daughter survived a heart defect situation against the doctor's advice that the mother opposed. Yeah. And she believed that to then define her as somehow having grand insight beyond actual medical training.
Oh, boy.
Our speaker, and I'll take it, I'll believe her that she was diagnosed with Leber's.
Yeah.
And that there is a 2% population of those who are diagnosed with that do have some or all recovery as a result of it, regardless. And I'll believe that she falls somewhere within that 2%. Okay, I'll believe all of that. But she has taken her grand luck and decided that it means that she somehow is blessed with knowledge that nobody else has, and she's going to pass it on to others, which is absolute nonsense and potentially harmful if she convinces people like, you don't have to worry about your MS, you just need to cut down on your aspartame. Yeah. That one really pisses me off because, like you said, because you talked about Alex and everything. Yeah. And I've and people in my real life and my family have had MS, and I just ugh. So didn't know what to expect from this. It was basically the worst case scenario. But regardless, I am very glad to have had Blind Press along with me to bring a little extra perspective, so to speak, on the subject. Let's see. So, Blind, any last thoughts or anything you want to add?
Well, honestly, just thank you for having me. And
sure.
I actually am kind of curious about this girl. I'm going to do some looking into her. Because this has set me off a little bit. I've got between this and something I found out this morning about the National Federation for the Blind. I've got some content coming up, I think. So.
Well, if you guys want to catch up on Blind Press's content, whether it's her commentaries or her Star Trek streams or her Mortal Kombat plays, go check out Blind Press's YouTube channel. Links in the description, as well as her Streamlabs and her Twitter and Patreon as well. Blind Press, where can people find you next on your channel?
So you can find me tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern for the Blind and the Special. And hopefully Pecoraro will be joining us. He's been really tired the past couple of Sundays because he's had a long work weeks. So it's just been me. But hopefully the Special will join the Blind and the Special. And then tomorrow will be a coffee stream at noon Eastern. Sounds good.
As for myself, if you'd like to hear more from me, or Satsu 2 Cents, or the Ranting Monkey, you can find all three of us tomorrow night, Monday night, on Satsu 2 Cents' channel at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern for The Lords of the Night, where we will talk about the news of the day, news stories you submit, what we've been up to on the internet, and your comments and questions. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us today for this roller coaster ride of insanity. Thank you so much for your attendance. Thank you so much for your participation and your argumentation. And those of you who donated, thank you so much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. It really will go into Goldfish and Jack Daniels, which I'll use to insulate my brain from the next TEDXcellence, which, by the way, will happen tomorrow, Monday, at noon Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, with the Ranting Monkey, where we will discuss how apparently asparagus can heal spinal injuries.
Amazing.
I am very looking forward to seeing what Ranting Monkey has to say about that one. Thank you, Manic, so much for the last-minute donation. Bye-bye, Dogcat Fox. Bye, Dogcat Fox, Manic saying bye-bye. Wowie, wow, wow. Thank you, Dogcat Fox. Everyone, I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. I hope you are all safe and well. If you're not well, please get well soon, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye, guys.